Julius Caesar or Genghis Khan?
I'd probably be Julius Caesar. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
Seems like a cooler life.
Kinda. I think that Genghis Khan had a lot more of. I think Genghis Khan existed in a time before bureaucracy and like the idea of modern day politics, which were like kind of like heavily, almost like kind of brought to where they are today in ancient Rome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Julius Caesar, like he was able to do a lot of crazy fuck shit, but like there was still a system of checks and balances that he had to slip through.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, dude, Genghis Khan did whatever the fuck he wanted
That is true.
because he was the only person to answer to. Ultimate supreme ruler.
Yeah, dude. Do you think like America in like 3, 4, like maybe even soon would ever be like that? Where like just one man rules all over everybody?
No, I don't.
No.
I think that would be dumb for them to do. The people in power.
Well, yeah.
I think the way they see it is like, if we split this shit up kind of evenly to the point where there's so many people in power that like nobody really knows who to blame for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we'll probably.
I mean,
right.
it works in their favor that they have so many people in power.
Like we technically like they kind of have like a fall guy, which is like the president.
It's always the president, yeah. No matter who the president is, it's just the
People
fall
will
guy.
complain about things that have nothing to do with what the president does and be like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck Biden, fuck Trump, fuck this, fuck that, dude. This president sucks, man.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I believe the president has nothing to do with taxes and how high taxes are. Like
I mean,
little, he can help for sure. He could like pass a bill. But,
yeah.
like there's different people in the Supreme Court and shit like that and like it's also just how the world runs. Shit gets more expensive.
Yo.
Like we can't really control that. And the fact that you can help for sure, but
They could do a lot more than they're doing right now.
that
that's
is
the
for
damn
sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
Part of the reason
They're
why
doing
things are
practically
so
nothing.
expensive is because most things are owned by huge companies that have a monopoly within the industry that they're occupying, and they can charge whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to charge high rather than low.
I mean, obviously, you want to make more money.
Yeah. Unless you're a business that like kind of like makes your money off of selling low, like Walmart, but even then, you know.
Even then, Walmart raises their prices all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you could argue like for sure sometimes they have to like things like there's supply and demand and this and that. Like I get it 100%.
Oh, yeah, for
but at the
sure.
end of the day, most of it's, I think, in my opinion, artificial inflation for the sake of inflation.
Well, exactly. That's where I was bringing this point. It's not like food and shit is actually getting more expensive to buy because we still have
Yeah.
farmers in this country and shit like that. Like food is getting a little pricier every year, but not as drastically as it has been in the past year or so.
Yeah.
You know, like you can't even go to McDonald's and not spend over $10 nowadays.
It's fucked
It's
up, dude.
crazy.
It's fucked
You used
up.
to be able to go there, buy 5 things for $5. Like
Now that's over.
that's dead.
That's over. The only place you could get a good like a decent little meal for $5 is Wendy's.
I always fuck with
Biggie
Wendy's.
Bags. Give it 2 years, bro. Those biggie
Even-
bags will be like $7,
Dude,
$8, man.
no, don't even then. Like depending on the biggie bag you get, fucking they're like $6.50 and shit now.
Yeah, they only have like 2 $5
Yeah,
ones.
I always get the ones that are. I think I get it's like a $6 one and then a $6.50 one. I always get 2, but
Fuck America.
yeah, America's kind of dude.
Let's move to Poland.
No, I'd be down to move to Poland. Poland would be weird to live in, but I'd be down for that adventure.
Warsaw.
We should at least visit Warsaw, dude.
I'm pretty sure Warsaw's in Poland. I'm pretty sure Warsaw is
I think
the
it's
capital
in-
of Poland.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know geography that well though, to be honest.
I know.
You know what? You know what's crazy?
Little
We definitely
geography.
should talk about this, like, because it's like fucking trending and shit everywhere.
The fires.
The fires, bro.
Yeah,
they're
that shit's wild.
they're getting bad.
All of
Have you s-
Pasadena, Pasadena. I don't know.
Pasadena?
Is it Pasadena?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it.
Who
but-
gives a fuck? Part of LA is completely fucking
Literally.
torched, bro.
Well, so
Like the entire business district.
have you been on? Have you been
Part
on
of LA
like?
is fucked.
Have you been on that shit like today? Because today someone found like a Joe Rogan clip from fucking a year or two ago where he's like he was like, I was talking to this firefighter one time about like the fires in LA because they're always a problem no matter what.
Every year.
They're just not this bad every year for sure. This is the worst it's been in a while.
Yeah.
But he was saying that the fireman that he was talking to was basically saying like, the only thing that contains the fires is the wind. Like we're just extremely lucky that the wind hasn't been pushing it towards LA.
That's what fucked up the because the wind got up to 100 miles an hour. Dude.
That's what came up. That's why it got so fucked up over here in the summertime too.
Shit's fucked up.
Like, and I was just thinking about it. I'm like, because he went further and he was like, the only way to stop it, like, dude, it's thousands of acres of land burning right now. Like thousands of shit is burning.
Everybody's seen those pictures from the planes and shit.
From what Joe said and like what he got from this fireman is the only way that like we'll stop it is when it reaches the ocean. Like firemen can do as much as they can, which good on them. Like all the people down there fighting, like
I'd hate
good
to
for
be
you. I'd hate to be down
in
there.
LA.
You guys are some of the bravest fucking people. I watched a 3-minute clip on Instagram today of just like a body cammed up fireman going through a house and spraying it down. And I'm like, dude, fuck all of that. You guys are some of the fucking top tier individuals in this country.
If that was
bro.
my job every day, I'd fucking kill myself.
Oh, dude. I know a few firemen and I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do that shit. Especially, I mean, places like
wildlife fire.
Exactly. Like places like here in LA, places like just main places that have wildfires every year, no matter what. Like those people, those firemen, and even like the search and rescue and the ambulances and the police departments that have to deal with that shit, like good on them. That shit is difficult because there's nothing you can do. You can contain it as long as you can, but then it's just going to break out, especially with wind. You know, Stitch. I'll go let her out really quick.
If you're in LA right now and you have a house that burnt down, that shit must suck. But how did you not see it coming? Low-key.
And you know, I was going into, sorry to interrupt whatever you were saying, but I was going in through like insurance shit for LA.
Yo,
dude, apparently like literally in like before December, like a year before December, State Farm and a whole bunch of these big insurance companies dropped like thousands of people from their insurance and got rid of fire insurance for a lot of people. And then like right at the end of December in 2024, they passed a bill that basically says anywhere that has wildlife, insurers have to cover wildlife, like fire. There has to be a fire coverage.
Yeah.
But they just passed that, like literally as these fires were starting and shit, you know?
See, like, I feel bad for like people who have like lived like in those areas like their whole life, like their family lived there, you know? But like, if you're somebody who in the past like 10 years or 20 years has just bought a house right next to the fucking forest,
like
in LA, bro, you might be
like, dude,
one of the dumbest motherfuckers around. I do not feel bad for you at all. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, there's fires there every year. One of the years, it's going to get further than it usually does.
Literally,
Like,
bro.
that's how it works.
You think every year those firefighters are going to be able to stop it?
How much you want to bet, like, in a few years, even in Montana, like, my parents will have to evacuate their house.
Oh,
and
guaranteed.
it might get burned down. Like,
Guaranteed.
That's the thing I've had to accept since I was, like, 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just the shit that you accept when you live in a forest.
Yeah. But your parents wouldn't be on Facebook after that if their house burned down.
Exactly.
Like, this is tragic. This is horrible. Because they know that they moved to the goddamn woods.
And every year we might get evacuated and all that shit, and they're like they're not comfortable with it, obviously, but they're ready for it.
Like I won't say no sympathy, but like I have very little sympathy for people like who will buy like a mega $1 million mansion.
Yeah,
right in that area in LA.
Did you see like the shit about
this is gonna end up okay?
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be all right.
Something that hit the mainstream was like Ben Affleck's house got burned down and shit, and it's like but he's a multi-millionaire. He could literally build and buy
house.
He could literally build and buy a new house.
But he probably owns
month.
an entire apartment building in
like
fucking
literally
like Boston that he just can live in.
Like, why isn't the mainstream shit all these like the people who don't have expensive ass houses and fire insurance and all that shit like that. Like those people need the most help for sure.
This is off topic, but this is also something
Take it
that's
off
kind of
topic.
been trending recently. Did you see that video of Obama and Trump just like giggling together?
Yeah, at Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
That just goes to show that all these little politics fanboys that are like, it's red versus blue, man.
It doesn't matter.
Pick a side. Dude, at the top of the game, bro, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to make their bag, bro.
They're trying to make the money and control the world. That's all they're trying to do.
They're just trying to keep the poor and keep the rich rich.
Like, remember when Obama and Trump
don't give a
fucking
fuck about
hated
us.
each other?
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote. That was for media purposes, obviously. I mean, Obama's always been like that, though. He's always friendly with everyone he loses to and shit like that.
Yeah, but Trump started talking first.
Trump made a joke to him and like made him laugh. Yeah.
Made him blush a little bit.
Yeah. And you don't do that with Trump unless you like him.
They all go to the same fucked up sex parties, man. 100%.
100%. I mean, you're that fucking you're in control of America, bro.
All of those guys were homied up with Epstein.
They probably got like a weekly thing at the White House where it's just like an orgy or some shit.
Apparently it's a pizzeria in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They just meet there
In the basement. After hours.
There's probably like an alleyway you have to go through.
Yeah. No, they just apparently walk in.
Go through the back.
That's a conspiracy theory out there that I think is absolutely hilarious. It's like, bro, these are people that like fucking like say what you want about Alex Jones. Very controversial individual. But
he was right about some things.
He went to this like fucking like cult fucking thing and filmed it back in like the early 2000s or something, dude. Or it was like this like occult ritual type shit, bro, where they were like burning an effigy and like this and that, like fucking all dressed up in like hoods and whatnot, dude. And he like snuck in and recorded the whole thing. And dude, bunch of like politicians, rich people, all that. And I guarantee you that's what like all of them do.
Almost
have you ever
guarantee
seen, no, you haven't because I've told you to watch it. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
No.
George Clooney. One of his best
though.
movies, in my opinion, dude. It is so fucking funny. If you haven't seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, watch that shit. It's based very, very, very loosely on the Odyssey by Homer, and it is also directed and written by the Coen brothers.
Oh, I love the Coen brothers, dude.
Yeah. So
I should definitely watch that.
It's really funny.
Dude.
And there's this one scene in it where they end up at like a KKK meeting because this movie takes place back in
the
Depression
the 60s.
era United States, like the 30s,
40s, gotcha.
And they end up at this like KKK meeting, right? And like the like Grand Wizard guy is like the fucking. I guess this spoils it a little bit. If you haven't. The movie came out in 2000.
Spoiler warning.
Dude. I'm pretty sure it's like 2002.
Spoiler warning.
2004.
Well, you just told people to watch it, and then you're going to spoil it, so we got to
Spoiler alert.
there you go.
The Grand Wizard ends up being like the dude who's like sweeping the political race that's going on in the town at the time. And it's like a whole thing, and like, yeah, dude.
Seems like an
that's
interesting
how
movie.
I look at I don't know, the political system, dude. Like, you think all of these like people who are literally like in control of the world just hang up their hat, go home, just like all of us, do normal people shit, go to bed, and they don't do anything out of the ordinary.
No, they
Dude,
all do.
They're mega rich.
They're making more money than
Mega
anybody.
powerful. I mean, I think when you get to that level, I think it's less about money, and I think it's a lot more about just
Status,
power.
and status. Yeah,
Who you
like,
know.
If you don't show up to those parties, you're kind of a bitch. You know.
Well, it's like who you have in your pocket and like fucking like who has you in their pocket.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
And
how
it just
like
goes up
that's
and
how
up
they
and up.
that's how they like socialize and get those fucking mega millions of dollars to run their political shit. Is they go to those parties and they fucking do whatever they have to do to just get some money.
Yup.
That's how it is, man. Like, I wouldn't. Why is a plane always flying over during the podcast, dude? That is crazy. Every time we do one.
It never really picks it up on the mics though.
No, I know that. It's just the fact that I can hear it is like, damn,
Yeah.
every single time.
If you're in a plane right now, listening to this, watch out! It's going. Watch out!
Dude,
Sorry, I had to.
I watched that Wolves movie with Brad Pitt and George Clooney on Apple
Don't
TV.
spoil it. How is it?
I won't spoil it.
Is it some mid?
It's kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I
Like-
haven't watched it yet.
Like, it's funny.
It seems too good to be true. It's
exactly.
like, okay, whoever made this movie just really,
wanted
really,
one George
really
Clooney and
liked
Brad Pitt together.
the Oceans
Literally.
movies, and was like, how can we do this
Like
more?
the movie was decent. I won't like give it too much shit, and I won't spoil it for anybody. But it's like, it's just I didn't get the point of the movie. You know what I mean?
At any point in the movie, does it explain why the title is Wolves
Yeah,
instead of Wolves?
It actually does, because like, and this doesn't spoil anything, both George Clooney and Brad Pitt do like the same job the exact same way. They're like cleaners, they're body cleaners. Like if someone has an accident, they'll come clean the body.
They're
make it
Mike
look
from
like
Breaking Bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like they both consider themselves lone wolves. That's why it's called Wolves, because by the end of the movie, like watch the movie, you'll find out why it's combined. But honestly, you don't have to watch the movie though. In my opinion, if you like the movie, that's fine. But the whole movie, I was just sitting there like, I mean, it's funny, it's slightly entertaining, but I just don't understand the point. Like there's no plot. There's like basically no plot. There's a small plot, but it doesn't build into anything
just
bigger.
Hey guys, look, Brad Pitt,
Exactly.
and George Clooney. Guys, look,
Exactly.
look.
It's these two being funny together in some scenes and then being serious in other scenes. It's like,
And they're good at acting.
yeah, that's been known
It's
forever.
the bare minimum, Hollywood.
It's like it's been known forever that these guys are great actors.
Say what you want about Apple, though.
Apple's got some bangers though.
Apple understands quality over quantity.
Facts.
Okay.
They only have a few originals.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Severance is one of the best shows I have ever seen in my life. If they hit with season 2 and then deliver with season 3 and then don't make fucking 46 seasons of it and end it at like season 6 or 7 with like a viable ending that's like pretty good and wraps it all up nicely. Top 3 show of all time.
I'm definitely watching it. Aren't they dropping season 2 in like January?
Comes out January 17th.
Yeah.
This is free
Next
promo for Severance. You know what? I understand, Apple, that you guys have like kids make iPhones for like really cheap and like all this and that. But you make
decent shows. You make
So
decent shows. So
the pros are growing. The cons are infinitely long, but the pros are growing. So
I'm also
y'all are doing good.
I'm also kind of excited to see that new movie. It's called like The Gorge or something with Miles Teller and what's that girl's name who's like really popping off? She played Furiosa.
The weird looking girl.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Something Taylor-Joy.
Oh, Ann Taylor-Joy.
Ann Taylor-Joy, yeah. I can't believe I couldn't think of Ann, but I thought of Taylor-Joy. But
literally like
I'm
the
actually
weirder part.
Have
of
you
the
watched
name.
the trailer for that movie? It actually seems
I never even heard of it.
It seems very interesting. Like it's like I'll just show you the trailer after this. Go watch the trailer for I believe it's called The Gorge on Apple TV. And the main reason I want to watch it is I fuck with Miles Teller, dude. He's a fantastic actor, like one of the top tier actors of this time today.
I still need to watch Whiplash.
Whiplash. I've never.
I know,
watched it,
like I've
but
watched so many videos about it and like clips, bro. I could tell you exactly what the movie's
Same.
about, but I have to watch it.
It's like, and that's the thing too. I'll always like see it on streaming shit and be like, I'm just not in the mood to watch that kind of movie right now. You know, it's like it's a very serious movie.
Yeah,
you know,
it has a lot of emotional beats. That's why I haven't watched the Marriage Story with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. I think it is.
I've never even heard of that.
Apparently, it's like Netflix's best fucking movie.
Damn, dude.
Then there's like Roma, all that type of stuff. See, movies like that, like you said, like I can really appreciate some good cinema. But like me personally, like I'm still, no matter what I do, 21 years old.
Yeah.
Like when I see like that Christopher Nolan is coming out with a movie based on the Odyssey by Homer, that shit makes my dick hard.
It's gonna be so good.
That shit makes my dick hard.
It's gonna be gas.
And I can appreciate like a weird, unique movie with like some heavy emotional story beats. Like, have you ever seen The Florida Project?
No.
It's this movie that is entirely based from a kid's perspective of like these kids who have like fucking like broke ass moms that live in this Florida hotel, and Willem Dafoe is the hotel manager.
Oh,
And
I
it's
love a
really
Willem
good.
Dafoe
And
movie.
like they do a kids movie in a rated R way in like a really fucking interesting, because it's not a
Nice.
kids movie, it's an adult movie from
With
the
kids in
perspective
it.
of
Yeah,
a child.
with,
And they like, dude, the kids are fucking phenomenal at the acting, bro.
that's
Like,
hard to find too.
that's hard to find. And on top of that, like whoever directed that shit, excellent. Like that's an A24 movie. If you haven't seen The Florida Project, watch it.
A24 make
But-
bangers, dude.
It's just hard for me to like you said, just be in the mood to like watch something like that. Where, like,
Exactly.
I don't know. Like,
You know, like no matter what mind state you're in, you're gonna get
Yeah.
emotional, and you don't really feel like getting that emotional
Yeah.
right now.
See, I'm a big YouTube guy because YouTube is pretty much just like the YouTube I watch is pretty much I'm just like learning information. It's pretty
Yeah.
much like I have like a high school teacher at like home.
Like you're doing like documentary style videos, like just
you know
essay
what I
type
mean.
videos.
Video essays.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
video essay guy. Right?
I love that. Yeah.
Like I don't really like watch any of like the Mr. Beast like shit. I don't watch
Isn't-
nobody's vlogs no more.
Do
I
you-
don't watch anything like
is
that.
Is it easier for you to learn when you're like watching something?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
100%. Like, it's easier for me to, like, okay, like, it's weird because, like, let's, like, use, like, books as an example.
Yeah.
Right? There's reading books and then there's audiobooks. Like, when I listen to an audiobook, it's easier for me to, like, pay attention for longer. Because
Yeah.
I don't have to sit there and read it.
That makes sense.
Right? But when I actually like read it and put that time in,
It's a lot more interesting.
it's a lot more interesting because like it's my voice in my head, makes my
Mhm.
imagination work a lot more. And on top of that, like it makes it like stick in my mind a lot more, I
Yeah.
feel. To the point where like the only fucking book, I'm not gonna lie, I don't be reading. The only book I've read in like the past few years, I've read like one story in it. And it's this the novel, not novel, but like this book of all of what's it? Franz Kafka's short stories,
Oh,
diary
okay, yeah,
entries, right?
okay.
And
I
there's
know what
this
you're talking
story
about.
that he has called Metamorphosis.
Mm.
And in Metamorphosis, the story is about this dude, and like Franz Kafka lived back in I think the late 1800s to early 1900s
Oh yeah.
over in Europe somewhere, and it's about this guy who wakes up for work, right? And his job is like he's like a traveling salesman, and like back in the day, work was like a lot more strict. Like if you didn't show up, they'd come to your house. There's this, there's that. Like
Mhm.
it was like crazy, right? And so this guy wakes up for work, but he's pretty much like the imagery that I was getting from it, a giant fucking cockroach.
Okay.
Okay. And now that sounds so stupid.
No, I get it. I
But,
actually
like,
get it.
The way he writes it is
Yeah.
like so anxiety inducing. Like you're putting
Yeah.
yourself in this position, you're like, oh, like I don't know what point he's trying to get across, you know, because art's interpretive, this and that and the other. But I think like fucking the thing with what I got from it is like, I don't know, dude, just like it made me just think of the idea of work so much differently and going to like a job and a day
Yeah.
job. And that's something that's kind of been on my mind really heavy as of recent. Just like how work is structured, like why we as humans work, what motivates us to work, what makes jobs shitty, what makes jobs good. You know what I mean? How jobs have developed over human
Yeah.
history, right? Like work is the most interesting thing about humans ever because it's the one thing that we do that we don't have to fucking do.
Literally, we just
All
do
we
it
have to
because
do in
we're-
terms of work is like get our food, we don't have to fucking like build computers. We just do that because it makes our lives easier and pretty cool.
And you make a lot of money
Pretty
doing
fun,
it.
right? But money is work.
Exactly. You work for money, and even
Yeah.
people who make money have to work for it.
The only
Yeah.
reason money exists is because work was invented.
Mm-hmm.
Community, directionalized, guided work by a group of people, a smaller group of people than the people doing the work that are deciding what gets done with the work.
Do you think things like that in humans started like in the caveman times? Because that's kind of what I've always presumed is there was like one alpha male who would just kind of tell everybody what to do, and they would go do it. And like if they did that for him, he would give them a little extra slice of the meat or something like that.
I think the most commonly believed theory that I've heard of, and I could be wrong on this too, and the theory that like I also kind of like sway towards is I think civilization began probably as we cultivated farming, right? I think humans have always hung out together in packs and this and that, just like monkeys do, right?
It's like
all
an
animals
instinct thing.
kind of like have communities for the most part. Like not all, but some.
Most.
And I think civilization, not community, but civilization started when we figured out how agriculture works, that we could take something from something that's already grown and
make something new.
and make that exact thing if we do this certain process with
yeah.
it, right? Like we watched nature do it, picked that up, some of us, and then taught it to everybody else, but not the whole thing, right? Because I think humans, like, there's always like, you can look at animals like lions. There's always like an alpha male.
Exactly.
Right? There's always like a queen or a king.
There's
like
always
bees.
someone. There's always someone on top.
Bees. There's a queen bee. You know what I mean? Like
Ants. There's a queen ant.
there's always hierarchies, and I think what made hierarchies like truly lucrative is agriculture, because it's like whoever figured out, or not necessarily figured out,
Whoever
but like
taught everybody how to do
controlled the growing of the food.
was
right,
probably running everything.
Was probably the person, like he gave everybody else food, like, hey, you come work for me, help me grow the food, I'll give you some of it, and like fucking you could live in this little place. Then they started building like little structures that resembled homes, but the dude who fucking ran the food, his was a good bit bigger and more work was put into it, more care, you know what I mean? And then I think from there, it just kind of snowballed into like kings, queens, fucking Genghis Khan, this, that, the other, and now we're here.
Yeah. Kind of a weird, like, snowball effect it had.
Makes you wonder, like, what was the pushing factor behind
that's
how
what
civilization was
Yeah.
not necessarily done, but like conceptualized. Because I think it's a lot easier to like look at civilization in a how did this start type of way, but like in like a what was done in like real time to further this idea into what it is now, right? I think it's a lot easier to look at it from that perspective than what was the motivating factor.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's like civilization gave us the ability to become the ultimate apex predator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like fucking I think that it can't be just that. You know what I mean? Like who was like the fucking first individual or the first group of individuals? Did it happen to everybody at once? Like was it like obviously it's like an evolution thing, but like at what stage in evolution did it just hit us? That, okay, civilization. Just that little idea of civilization. Like, and I think it starts with agriculture, then shelters, and this and that, and it grows and it grows and it grows.
I think it like might have been like a natural part of human evolution. Is like eventually we grew to this point where just like we were smart enough to figure out agriculture and shit like that, and then eventually like there were people figured out that there were people smarter than them and better than them in some areas of shit, and those people ended up doing a lot better in agriculture and housing and all that, controlling people.
Obviously, language is a big factor in it too. I think that we kind of forgot to mention.
We
like,
negate language
like
when talking about anything, really.
Language is like fucking, I don't know. Everybody's like, for a long time, do you know who Jane Goodall is?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure this is why Jane Goodall is like popped the fuck off. For a long time, we believed that what separated humans from the rest of the animals and why we kind of like got the fucking apex spot is
Communication
tools.
and
Tools.
And she
And then I'm
proved-
pretty sure Jane Goodall came out with this study, went and like lived with fucking some monkeys and shit for a bit.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
I think you're actually. I think you're right.
And she found that they do use tools.
Yeah.
Like there's that video of an orangutan. A lot like you've probably seen it of an orangutan using like a spear type thing.
Yeah. There's a bunch of animals like that. That will just like.
But
the only one we really look at is monkeys because they have opposable thumbs and shit like that, so they can actually grip shit.
And
but,
obviously, like it's obviously a combination of factors. But like
look at like the littlest insects in the world, like spiders.
there had to have been a turning point for when this whole shit kind of started.
Yeah.
There had to have been one kind of like turning point in my mind. Obviously, I don't fucking know. I'm not a goddamn scientist. I'm retarded. But the way I think about it is like, dude, ain't no way that like just naturally over time, over the course of like hundreds of years, it just kind of happened. Like there had to have been one moment or something that like caused fucking, okay, let's like all fucking like start living together and like farming and doing this and doing that. Like obviously it wasn't that simple, but fuck, dude, like if I could go back to any point in history, dude, it'd be whatever that turning point was probably. Just because that's when we separated from the rest of the animal kingdom.
I think
unless
like,
you're one of those people that fucking believe that like aliens came here and dropped us off on Earth.
I mean, you might have like pieced it together a little bit. Like obviously none of this is proven, but what if it like was humans' ability to communicate and like understand each other?
That's like the most widely believed theory now, but dude.
But every animal communicates with each other.
And
but
we have no idea how deeply.
Exactly. But I think for some reasons, humans just have this deeper, like, level to it than most animals. Like, where we can, like, humans can at least try to understand other humans.
Obviously, it's like mass congregation to a certain extent.
Yeah,
because
you get
imagine
enough
if
people together.
Imagine if like every fucking like lion in fucking like fucking Ghana or some shit one day just decided to fucking
all team up and run through humans. It's like they definitely
go
could
kill all the tigers and fucking you know what I mean?
They definitely
but
could.
Like what causes that is my question. Like mass congregation I think is what kind of did that. And obviously things like speech and agriculture and shelter all led
what if it was
to that, but what was the motivating factor?
What if it was
what
like
changed in the human brain that just fucking
I think it was
took it up to 100?
I think it was mushrooms.
A lot of people think it's that.
I've believed that for a long time. Even before I tripped on mushrooms, I was like, dude, that's like a viable theory.
But that theory kind of like I don't fully. Obviously,
holes.
I'm not a scientist, but yeah, to me it has holes.
But every theory has holes.
There are plenty of animals that eat mushrooms to survive.
But that's what I'm saying.
And there's no way that for some reason only humans or like
that's what I'm
Neanderthals and
saying.
shit like that, only them have like this certain chemical makeup.
No, that would make
in their
perfect sense.
brain.
No, that makes perfect sense actually, because no matter whose brain you look at, like fucking a dolphin's compared to us, compared to a giraffe's.
Yeah.
We all have, every single one of them have the same chemicals mixed with different chemicals.
For
and
sure.
they all mix in different ways compared to the brain.
But what happens when you go to like the most closely related animal to us, like primates, right?
Like,
and you go and you give a community of those primates mushrooms for like fucking thousands of years. Like
would they evolve into us?
The likeliness for that to like happen.
But that's all.
That's why I don't really like.
But that's the thing. That's like the whole point of science is like none of it is really like likely. It just kind of happens.
For sure. And all this shit's like fucking like.
It's not proven. None of it is. You know, none of it's for sure.
But like, I don't know, dude. I think mushrooms is an easy out. It's like, we expanded our minds, man. Like, for sure, to a certain extent, I definitely think mushrooms helped with that. But dude,
Yeah, it has to be. You know, I agree. It probably there's another layer
to get
it
it to
as
the
well.
extent where like fucking humans could fucking like really fucking kill off all the Neanderthals,
Literally, like become the top predator.
the top fucking apex predator in the whole wide world. If that was only mushrooms,
That wouldn't make sense.
that wouldn't really make sense
exactly.
to me.
I get
and
that
like I
point.
said, I'm 21. I'm not a scientist. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But I feel like I can tell shit from shit sometimes. And that just doesn't really
Yeah.
sound like
Because it's like a lot of people will
plausible.
bring up the fact that like we were able to make weapons and guns to fend off animals and shit.
but it's like how?
But even then, it's like a lot of animals can make their own tools to fend off from their predators and shit like that. Like they make their own shit. They
And there's
adapt.
animals out there that build shelters all the time.
Exactly. Like one of the most fascinating that's an arachnid is a spider, bro. Like spiders are so fucking amazing, bro. Like they make their own homes out of their fucking butt. And that's some of the like strongest material in the world. Can capture and hold bees, flies, can hold them up, can hold multiple things up at one time. But if a human runs through it like that, it immediately dissipates into nothing.
Yep.
So why like that's something scientists like genuinely like I haven't done research on it recently, but last I heard they can't explain why a spider doesn't fall off a web. They can't explain why a bee is able to fly.
Yeah, I've heard before that bees
Shouldn't be able to fly.
shouldn't technically be able to fly based off of like the
Their mass.
aerodynamics
Yeah.
of their body.
And the fact that they're big and bulky and their wings are the tiniest things in the world, they shouldn't be able to fly.
Unexplainable like that's life, you know what I mean? It's unexplainable. but, like,
Unexplainable things.
I think when you get so used to the unexplainable, there's still things that stick out.
Oh yeah. Especially for like humans.
Think about it like this, like if it was like you have no idea how bad I want to be. Like I really want to believe, yeah, man, like fucking humans, dude, we're like an ancient alien species from like a fucking dying star system fucking millions of light years away that used to fucking run the galaxy, and then some crazy fucked up incomprehensible shit happened and we had to retreat to a bunch of different spaces across the galaxy, and one of those spaces was Earth, and that's why everything's so spaced out, so we don't get into contact with each other and make it happen again, and this and that, right? I want to be one of those people so bad, bro, but I don't know, dude. I think fucking it's probably something that when you hear, you're just like, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that kind of makes sense, actually. Yeah.
That's usually the reality of the
Yeah.
sitch, man.
I mean, that's why I've always like had the more scientific approach, because most of the shit I hear and like what scientists come up with and what they were able to do, I'm like, oh, that actually kind of makes sense. Like this happened because this happened, and you were able to show that this happened.
Yep.
Like it has facts and data, so how could like, and it's just easier for some people to believe than others, obviously, but it's just logical, I guess I would say, is like the most logical way of thinking is like
Typically.
typically the right way.
And there's
you know?
always outliers in
Of
everything.
course.
But
Because there's some
most
shit
of the time.
there's some shit that like happens in the world today that like nobody can explain.
Most things are unexplainable.
Exactly. Even to like the smartest minds in the world, like they're just like, I don't know. I don't know what happens.
Consciousness is completely unexplainable, and that's what we're experiencing right now.
Exactly. But like your whole like
Self-awareness.
the whole main point of that is like, where did we gain that consciousness? Where did we
Exactly.
gain that
like,
self-awareness?
Where did that come from? And I think maybe mushrooms, maybe.
I think
but
maybe
I
it
don't
had
know.
a part in it.
Yeah, it had a part, but there had to have
There
been
has to be-
something so weirdly specific. You know what I mean? Or so like I have no idea what it could be, but like I don't know. It's so weird to think about the origins of all of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like
We're born and we're experiencing the human race, like arguably early on into the game. Like we just got things like the internet and like fucking technology, like electricity, like relatively very recent in human history, most of this shit happened. You know what I mean? Most of the shit we use today,
Yeah.
like microphones and cameras and phones and internet and like houses like this that have gas, heat, and fucking like plumbing and this and that. Like these are all things that have come around for the most part in the last 500 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you think about how human history, we kind of block it up in like
Dude.
thousands of years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're
Like,
we've only been here for a little bit, you know?
like it's just we're kind of born late into the game, so just we're so far removed. Like, did you know Cleopatra was born closer to us
Than
than
Egypt.
the pyramids?
That would make sense, yeah. Because
Cleopatra.
that's
when you think of
crazy.
like Egyptian royalty
Cleopatra's one of the tops.
and King
It's
Tut,
like King Tut, Cleopatra. Every time.
Who else? Right? Like fucking dude. More closely related to like our time
Side of like, yeah, that's
History.
crazy.
than the literal fucking pyramids. Dude, like, how did it go from us chilling in trees and getting murdered by fucking lions and being poor little scavenging fucks to us literally ruling the world and having to be less predatory
Like,
against
bro.
it? It's like, dude, we have gotten so good at shit that we're like, okay, let's stop killing this type of animal.
Literally,
Because we
bro.
like it. We like having it around.
It's a cool
Rhinos
pet.
are horrifying fucking creatures, bro. And we protect those things with our fucking lives.
Yes. 'Cause rhinos are cool.
You know what I mean? And humans have always like had a special connection with animals, right? But why?
This is kind of, well, it's not
Like,
off topic. It's on
it all
topic,
stems
but-
from consciousness, obviously. But how?
Obviously, but where does that come from? Who knows? But something I always like ponder when I'm just like looking at shit throughout the day is like, I wonder, like I'll be looking at like just say for your hat that you're wearing right now, that beanie. I always like go into my mind and like, how did someone find out the specific materials needed to make that?
Yeah.
Figure out how to do it with tools they've made.
Yeah.
Figure out just all of that shit.
Because once
Like,
you're used to
where do
something, you're used to it.
Exactly. Where do you get the materials when there's no materials to get? Like, where did
Yeah.
these fucking, like, where did all this shit come from, bro?
Yeah.
Like, it's literally unexplainable when you think about it, because it's like we did mining, we did agriculture, we built shit, we cut down trees, we did all this. But it's like, how did all of this become a thing with the limited materials that Earth has?
Well, on top of that, how limited humans are
Literally.
comparatively to most other fucking animals, bro.
Well, bro, think about it this way. 75% of the world is closed off to us because it's under the fucking ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't even access half of that shit.
And we overfish the fucking ocean, dude. Hard.
We overdo everything in the ocean. We fucking
We overdo
drill oil.
everything everywhere.
We drill holes through the ocean and they blow up and it creates a giant oil leak in the ocean. And we're just like, just build another one a few miles away.
I'd hate to be anything other than a human, bro. If you're a cat and you're watching this, or you're like a tiger, man,
I feel bad,
Fuck.
dude. Sorry. We
Like,
fucked your shit up bad.
we have respect for your hustle. Like, I would have quit.
Yeah, I would have.
There's this YouTube channel out there called I love this channel. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Called Tier Zoo.
Tier Zoo.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it's called Tier Zoo, something like that. But he makes videos pretty much about like animals and like humans, and like he has this video called "Why Are Humans So OP?"
Yeah.
And it's just he looks at life like a video game
Mhm.
and just talks about it like, so humans have these stats, da 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 da, like they're buffed in the fucking consciousness, like they have a huge boost because they have the ability to socialize and congregate en masse and da 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 and this and that, right? Like, it's just so fucking funny, bro. And he has like old like retro
Oh, yeah,
like fucking Nintendo music on behind it the whole time, bro. And like it'll be like, humans can't do much
mean-
attack power, but what they lack in that, they make up for in their creativity stats. And it's like, dude, it's like, because
It's like, that makes sense.
It's such a like a surface level, like funny way to look at it. But like once you really think about it, like, dude, it really kind of is like that.
It is
like
like
obviously
that, like-
video games are structured of that because like what else would they be? But like it's just funny to like think like of life in like a way that's like statistical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's probably the most simple way to look at life, right? Is like just break it down into stats. Like humans have these stats, bears have these stats,
Yeah.
tigers have these sort of stats. It's like that's a really simple way to like break everything down.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
But it's also it's creative, like
For
you said,
sure.
but
it still leaves a lot of room for mystery.
exactly.
Life
because
is a very mysterious thing.
I think that's the whole point of it. No one's supposed to figure it out.
Boys and girls listening at home, if you ever had a freaky, mysterious experience, drop it in the comments below. And at the end of the comment, make sure to tell me your least favorite thing about my co-host here, Mr. Tuesday.
Please don't do that. My ego's very, very small.
That is literally the furthest thing from the truth I think I've heard in the past 3 years. New record. What the fuck are you doing down? Oh my fucking god, dude.
What?
This kid's a fucking alcoholic, bro.
Don't blame me.
This kid's a goddamn boozer.
Don't blame me. Blame society.
Kids, if you don't drink, if there's any children listening to this, for fuck's sake, stop. You shouldn't be listening to us.
Yeah, for real. Jesus Christ.
Jesus, like, fuck. Your parents are like shit. I'm joking. But,
oh my God, bro.
don't drink like Clint, dude.
We broke the cap on this.
We had to break the cap on it.
I don't know if I'll
Give
be
me
able
that bottle.
I don't
Let
know
me
if I'll
see
be
it.
able
Let
to
me see it.
reopen that, dude.
Who makes this shit? Who makes it?
Where's it imported from?
It's it might be
Italia. No, Italy makes a lot of wine.
it's produced by Fielding and Jones
That's probably American.
in
God damn it.
Chicago, Illinois.
Yep, that's gay.
Hey, if you are on the fucking bottle cap section at the goddamn fucking Fielding and Jones factory at Midori, whatever the fucking
You should
doing,
lose your
Midori
job.
bottle caps. Suck my fucking balls until you choke to
dude.
death. Like, dude,
We had to get pliers to open that thing.
bro, this was a 4-man job. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, as you can see. But, dude, that shit was a bitch and a half to open.
Oh my God, bro. They really don't want me to be alcoholic tonight.
Don't push down on it while you...
I'm trying not to.
It's almost like a weird pull mechanism as well.
I need the pliers again.
Let me see. I'm going to try to get it.
It's just gonna shatter that cap, dude. It's like, yeah, bro. Don't do that. You might break some teeth, dude. Literally. Shit is ass. You get it? Oh, no fucking way. Nice shit. Thank you.
Shout out the Garrett family genetics. I
Facts.
have like the strongest teeth out of anybody I've ever met.
It says it's infused with Japanese melons.
Yeah.
Those like plastic boobs from Japan. Ooh.
Get your fucking mind out of the gutter. You're disgusting, bro. You're a pervert. Oh my god.
Dude, this bottle fucking sucks.
No, dude, you're retarded. Poured perfect shots with that the other night.
Sure.
It's a regular bottle.
Sure.
No spillage on the shots. You can't blame the bottle for your own mistakes. You're really starting to become an alcoholic. Blaming the bottle for your shortcomings.
It was the bottle. It made me do it.
Guys, if you're listening at home, I'm going to leave a GoFundMe link in the description to get Clint to go to fucking rehab. And I promise you I will use the money to send this kid to fucking rehab. And I'll give him a pair of those Snapchat sunglasses so he can like record the whole thing.
Can't make me unless
Except
I wanna.
for when he's touching himself in the bathroom, this little
Can't-
fucking pervert.
Can't make me if I don't wanna. First rule of rehab is I have to wanna go. I don't wanna go.
Yeah. Then I
don't
drug
need it.
you with
I
so
don't
much
need it.
acid that I
They can't-
convince you that
They
it's a
can't
good thing
take me.
for you.
They can't take me. They wouldn't take me
Why?
because I'd be all drugged up, not in my right mind state. They need me to know that I'm going into
You would,
rehab.
but you know where we would send you first? The psych ward at the hospital.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'd kill people there probably, or I'd kill myself. Who knows?
Perfect.
That's rude. I'm your co-host.
Just kidding, guys. Suicide's not funny.
You wouldn't have a show without me.
Suicide hotline is 1-800-273.
That's right. I know that. That's right. 273. I think it's 8 something.
I only know it because of logic. 8014.
My Google is gonna hate me.
Just look up the Logic song on Spotify.
I'm just doing the suicide hotline. It's right here. Oh, they changed it. What the fuck?
What?
What the fuck?
Guys,
when you look up suicide hotline, look what comes up. 988 suicide and crisis lifeline. Apparently the new number for it is 988.
no, I think that's just like here.
A 988 lifeline.
If
Suicide
they actually,
prevention information 188 or 988, sorry.
If they actually changed it, they just ruined Logic's career.
They did, bro. What the fuck? I don't see any number here with 1-800 on it. Because I literally just looked up suicide hotline.
1-800-273-8255.
Did you look up Logic song or the actual?
No, that's the National Prevention Toolkit.
Good.
National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
They got 2 now. Good shit.
Well, I think they're both the same. I think it's.
So you can dial. I mean, who's gonna remember 1-800? Blah 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 blah. No one's gonna remember that shit. 988's a lot easier to remember.
Yep.
1-800-273-8255 for the suicide hotline, ladies and gentlemen. Please get help if you need it. Please seek help.
Yeah.
Your life is meaningful and needed.
Nobody kill yourself.
Please.
Unless you work at Disney.
Facts.
Then fucking kill yourself, bro. Off yourself.
If you that fucking Mickey Mouse little fucker that runs around that park, die.
No, that guy's just a small fry. If you're Kevin Feige and you hang yourself tonight,
Bob Iger.
I'll pour one out for you tomorrow. Bob Iger.
Bob Iger needs to go.
All of those guys. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
He's too.
And if you're that one new lady who is in charge of like
the Star Wars
the
shit.
shows at Netflix too.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
You can also fucking kill yourself.
We're gonna get canceled.
I mean what I'm saying. Every single goddamn word of it. All right. I will stand on these statements on national television if given the chance. So, the Today Show, if you want to talk to me, please feel free to contact me at SIKDIKMIK31@yahoo.com.
Who's the guy that was on the Today Show that had that like controversy years ago? Matt Lauer? Was that his name?
Yeah. The guy that was fucking. There was like the two hosts were fucking. They were both cheating on their husband.
Yeah.
It was a female host and a male host, and
the hot female host.
They were
too.
both fucking cheating on their spouses with each other.
Good for you, Matt. I'm pretty sure there was more shit with Matt Lauer too, because they kicked him off the show. Like he's not on today's show
I think
anymore.
they kicked both of them off.
I think the girls. I think the girl's still on there.
Really?
I think so.
Because I think Rachel something.
No, I think Matt.
I don't know shit.
I think he also did something else. I mean, I don't really want to look it up right now. That was years ago.
Didn't he summon Cthulhu?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah. He summoned it in the middle of a show.
Yeah,
so
dude.
They had
like,
to diss him.
I fucking hate when people summon Cthulhu, dude. Don't you hate that shit? Doesn't like
just in
you'll
the middle
just be
of the
chilling,
day.
bro. You'll be chilling, scrolling through Instagram, fucking. At least like once every few months, dude. I swear, dude. It gets more common as the years go on. Like. Somebody summoned Cthulhu out of the ocean. Oh my god, bro. And it's always some fucking goofy ass little fucking suburban ass motherfucker, dude. It's like, of course you have the time to go and summon Cthulhu. It's like, you little rich prick. Fuck you.
You white male suburban living rich asshole. Let someone else have that.
Yeah, bro. Like, if I wouldn't be as pissed at people summoning Cthulhu.
Yeah.
If it was like a different guy once in a while.
Like, what if...
Like, how many times has it been like that one Tanner kid?
Exactly. Bruh, Tanner spawns all the fucking...
Okay, I think it's happened 8 times since like March 2023, right? But I think like at least 5 of those times it's been Tanner.
Dude, we need to spawn like a hell demon instead.
What I was thinking is, remember that dude who summoned Cthulhu's baby mama, like back, I think it was 2010.
Yeah.
And
Jeffrey.
dude, bitched out Cthulhu, dude. That shit was wild. If you haven't seen that video of Cthulhu getting bitched out
Definitely
by his
look it
baby
up.
mama,
Look it up
yo,
right now.
dude. I have never seen anybody like fucking. I don't think I've heard unpaid child support so many times in like one rant, dude. Like, I thought I was watching the fucking Maury Povich show, dude.
Crazy
Straight
shit,
up.
dude.
Anyway,
Oh.
everybody already knows about the
Dude,
Cthulhu shit.
whoa,
I don't even know why we're talking about it.
You know
But
what I saw on Instagram? Again, I'm always on fucking Instagram learning shit for some reason. But
what a great place to learn.
apparently they're making, you know, the It movies, how they were they're old Stephen King books, then they made an original movie about it.
How,
Then
like,
they
all
made
of them are pretty
two
mid.
movies. Yeah. Apparently they're making like a series
Not
of
surprised.
It, and
Not
it's
surprised.
there's like
Not get it like a series of.
a series of It. But like it's so weird because it didn't even make sense to me. They're doing like each season goes back like 10 years or some shit like that. However long, I guess Pennywise does his do shit. I don't fucking know.
His
But
due
it's just like
diligence.
it just doesn't make any sense because the thing that like people like about it is first off the fact that it's
Like about what?
shut up. Pennywise,
What?
the dancing clown. There you go.
Okay.
What people like about like the whole story it was Stephen King's story and it was
Yeah.
a great book. I haven't read the book, but my mom has it and she will not watch the movies because of the book.
What's it called?
Shut up.
No. What's it called?
That's it for today's
No,
episode
no,
of
no,
FRiED
no,
Files
no, no,
podcast.
no,
If you guys like
no,
this episode,
no.
please like, subscribe, and
No, we still
unfollow
have to
Michael
smoke the-
Garrett, Sick Dick Nick
Fuck
on
you.
every social
No.
you can.
No. We're smoking the gravity bong.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have to do that. But I was just saying, like, the reason people like the movies, I liked the first movie, the remaster they did a few years ago, but the second one was kind of ass. But
I
they're-
watched the second one and it was mid.
Yeah, they were both based off the books, though, which
The first
is
one,
nice.
The first one was all right because I was like fucking 13 or 14 when that
Yeah,
shit
and
came out.
it was actually pretty scary. I remember going to the theaters and watching it, dude. I watched it with my sister.
I don't know.
It wasn't. There was
that.
the first, not the first scene. What's that scene? The basement scene. There's like a basement scene that scared me, but that's it.
I know the one with Georgie.
Yeah. Where he's like going down in the basement and shit. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that shit's scary, bro. But the sewer grate scene at the very beginning of the movie, I always just found that hilarious. Like that's always just a meme.
Jump scares never really scared me as much as like, because jump scares are just like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
And then it's like, oh, it's gone. It's done.
but like, it's the weird shit that scares me.
Yeah, you
the
like
shit.
psychological weird shit. Like I don't know why I grabbed the dabs.
Like, one thing I want to watch is that movie called a Serbian film, whatever the. Do not drag it over here.
Lift it
Fair. Guys, if you're listening right now, what Clint is moving is his giant metal dildo.
Yeah, dude, I shove this up my ass every day. It's fun.
Don't look at the video. It's disgusting. It's covered. It's covered in blood and shit.
Dude, where are we gonna put this? Oh wait, I have a good idea.
I'm gonna
Hold on.
describe it.
Hold on.
You should probably put it on your chair. I mean, wouldn't that?
Yeah, facts. Just sit on it the rest of the podcast, dude. And that's the nice thing
Don't
about
let
it.
your dog lick it.
I could be sitting on it and then flip it over. Yeah. And then all
it also
all
is
that like rubs through my anus.
the bubbles that you're hearing. That's just all cum.
Ugh.
That's
God
all like
damn.
a collection of other men's cum.
Don't fucking smell that.
Homeless men's cum. Yeah, see, it smells like shit because it's homeless men's cum. And Clint's about to smoke it as we speak. Why would you put it this way?
Either way,
Because then it'll spin into the.
I made
fucking
enough
shit.
distance for it to do either.
Are you lighting?
Yep.
Bet.
Watch your hand. There you go.
3, 2, 1. We have to light this dildo so Clint can smoke the collected cum out of it. You can torch it.
Just
Turn
full
it-
torch it.
Turn it down a little bit to where it's like barely a flame. There you go. I think we should. There you go.
There we go.
We're good now, for sure.
Gotta love the smoking of the marijuana, man. It's always a complex process. Even when you're doing
Yeah, Clint's not smoking other men's cum right now. I lied. If you thought I was being serious, you seriously need to probably like get ready for the 6th grade, dude. Like, there's no way you're that dumb.
For real, whoever's watching us and you're not at least, I don't know, a junior in high school, please leave. Actually, high schoolers can watch us. I fuck with most high schoolers. We were high schoolers once.
You know what I've always wanted to do, just like in this format, like interview, like podcast type format, like just where it's like super long and like anybody could be listening. Tyler, if you're listening to this, we're fucking coming for you, bro. You best fucking believe it. Tyler from Georgia, you best fucking believe it, dude.
Facts.
Your shit's about to be fucking
Tyler.
pranked. You know what
We
the
know
fuck
where you are.
did.
We know your address. We know where your mother lives.
Yeah, dude. Fuck you.
Get ready.
You think you really got away with it, too.
People, dude. They think they can get away with anything nowadays. It's
know,
crazy.
dude.
Everything's traceable, no matter what. Dude, I want to, when we...
I hope somebody who doesn't know what Cthulhu is was like so confused.
And looked it up. That'd be so funny.
What the fuck are they talking about? If anybody comments, I have to clean this. I know. Okay.
Dude, we have to clean it like if you smoke
Every
one
day.
bowl out of it, it sucks. I mean, it's dope, but it sucks that you have to clean it so often. Because, I mean, a bong even lasts you like a full week before you have to clean it.
Oh yeah. I hate cleaning dab rigs. That's the most annoying shit in the world.
Well, yeah, wax is always
You know what I want?
the most
One of
annoying
those
thing.
like little magnet glass things that cleans your shit.
Oh, yeah, that you just like rub up and it just takes all that shit with it. Yeah. Those are nice to clean the dab shits with, bro. Like, if you just grab, because the thing is, it has 2 of them. You put one on the inside, one on the out.
that came from? That's how you clean fish tanks. That's like, it's like the same exact thing for fish tanks.
Really?
No, like same exact thing, yeah.
I've never had a fish, so I wouldn't.
My grandma has,
Oh, she has some dope fish. Cool ass fish.
Yeah,
and a
no.
cool fish tank, too. 2 fish tanks.
I grew
right?
up around some fucking
Oh, yeah.
crazy
Dope animals,
man.
dude. You got what? Like, 2 parrots? Or not parrots.
Macaws.
Macaws, yeah.
You know where those birds come from?
Fucking.
The Amazon
Yeah,
rainforest.
bro. And, oh, dude, they're so pretty, bro. They're beautiful birds.
They're huge. They'll
they're-
bite your fucking
They're
finger
angry,
off.
dude. They're the most angry birds I've ever seen in my life.
They're
dude.
fierce. They're fierce.
That one, the one in the big ass cage, fucking hates everybody, dude.
Yeah.
I know every time I'm over there and like you're talking to your grandpa or grandma and shit, he'll just fucking stare at me, bro. I hate that. It's scary.
If anybody is about to fucking comment, your grandma owns fucking wild birds. It's fucked up. That's disgusting. Da 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 da.
Fuck you.
Okay. The only reason she does is because their wings were clipped before
Yeah,
they
they can't
owned them
even
and
fly.
They took care of them. If they were put into the wild, they'd be decimated within hours,
Literally.
minutes maybe.
They can literally, they can't fly. They can only walk around.
People don't realize how fierce of an area the Amazon fucking rainforest is, or rainforests in general, dude. They're wild fucking
Any
places.
forest, bro. Look at fucking out here, bro. You ever like,
Have you ever looked at a detailed map of the Amazon rainforest?
no, but I was gonna say, have you ever,
It is
I mean,
insane.
you used to hunt all the time, so you've probably in your hunt, like just, I've done this before just while hiking, come up on like a fucking carcass
Yeah.
that's been torn apart by a bear or a mountain lion or some shit. And you're like, oh,
Nature's
shit.
a fierce thing, man.
You're like,
it's
you-
beautiful, but
Oh, yeah.
it's ugly out there.
That's why I love like nature documentaries. Those were some of my favorite things to watch as a kid. Cause you're like, everybody has this like innate thing in them to like just find animals
That's
cute.
why some of the most like highly reviewed pieces of film on the planet are really good nature documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
Like Our Planet, narrated by David Attenborough.
David Attenborough. Oh,
Everybody's seen Our Planet.
our planet's
That
one of the
shit was
greatest
so
fucking
popular
things.
it got a sequel, bro. How often do you hear about fucking a fucking goddamn nature documentary getting
Literally.
a goddamn sequel?
Only one time, and both of them were proved fake. So
Yeah.
It's not even you know those Megalodon documentaries that came out years ago. They made two
Oh,
of them
yeah.
with the same
Those are
guy.
obviously kept. They're the same
And-
as like the fucking Bigfoot ones.
Yeah, every single thing in there was just lies.
that shit's meant for like fucking the way when I loved that shit, I was like 12,
Exactly.
13. Like anywhere between like 8 and like 13. Like the History Channel was my shit, right? Like
And they
love the
know that,
History
bro.
Channel.
They-
but like the History Channel cap Shark Week for the most part, except the actual like
There's good, really
Shark
good. Yeah, exactly.
education.
Like unless they're trying to tell you about like a megalodon or some alien shark or some shit. Like
Yeah.
there was one documentary I watched and it was like a true story and they like recreated it in the ocean and everything. It was about this really big great white shark and they nicknamed it Submarine.
Yeah.
And like one night, I don't know what year, but years and years ago, like this boat got capsized. And just for whatever reason, you know, that big ass shark was just around the area. And it ended up either biting or killing. I can't remember. I watched this, like I said, when I was like 12, 13.
Long time ago.
Ended up biting and or killing 3 different people just in that like one little area of the boat. And I'm like, God damn, that's why I don't fuck with the ocean, bro. The ocean is a fucked up place.
The ocean is the scariest place in the world, in my opinion.
Indeed. There's nothing.
I'd rather take my
miles.
chances in Antarctica than fucking a goddamn fucking boat. In
Like,
the middle
bro,
of the ocean.
yeah, the
Or
like
an
marine
island.
marine biologists, scuba divers, like the people that just like study sharks and study any random fish in the ocean, right? Those are some of the bravest individuals in the world as well, bro. Along with firefighters and shit, they could get attacked by anything down there. We don't know 90% of the species that are even down there.
I want to tell you one like really like fucked up story
Do it.
before we finish this off.
Yeah, we can't go like 4 hours.
Yeah. I don't remember what group of people or the names really, but pretty much there was, I think this happened in the past 80, no, pretty much like this like group of people was like trying to colonize this island that's like super far out in like the fucking middle of nowhere, right? And this group of people ended up like staying there because their expedition left and this and that, right? And they were gonna come back, but then they couldn't come back because of like a war that was going on or some shit, and like just like economic disparity, right? So they didn't have the logistical shit to. They didn't care enough to fucking go back for these people, so they lived on the island, right? And
That's fucked up in
it was
itself,
like a
dude.
group of men, and then like their wives and like children, right? Like you're like 4 or 5 families, and there was this one day there, right, where and there's also this like guy who kind of like lived on his own in like the like lighthouse, right, like the lighthouse guy kind of like kept to himself, and
Is this a true story?
yeah,
Okay.
and it's fucked up.
Is it?
It gets fucking
Yeah, I'll ask all these later.
okay. Most of these will probably be answered, but there was this one day there where they saw like a fucking U.S. like Navy ship or something like pulling up, right? And or like something like some country's like naval ship, and it pulled up and it couldn't get over like the coral reef to
Yeah,
like,
so
actually get to them,
So I had to anchor.
and it pretty much just like had to turn around because it was
Oh,
a fucking big ass
yeah.
big ass ship.
Probably didn't have another boat to
Exactly.
like roll out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the like 5 men, right? Like the husbands and shit,
Mhm.
went out on like a little like boat to like try to go out there, but they literally like their wives watched them get swallowed by a wave and die. All of them right then and there.
Just a
right?
wave.
Yeah, well, like they got like their boat got overturned while they were like far out there.
And I mean, you're far out, obviously,
Yeah.
but like
and if you get slammed up against those coral reefs,
You're
like,
dead.
they will shred you
you're
the
dead.
fuck up.
You're
Like,
dead.
That shit's no game.
No.
But
Ocean's a fucked up place, bro.
this is where it gets really fucked up because they just all like watched their husbands die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just like 5 women,
And their kids.
and I think I don't know if they had kids there.
Oh, okay.
But I think one of them had a kid.
Oh, so there was at least one child.
Or there was one there was
We'll say
one,
there's a child.
There was one 15, 16 year
At a
old.
little more sentimental
Right.
value.
But it was
to
all women left, right? And the dude who operated the lighthouse. And when it happened, the dude who operated the lighthouse came out because he saw what happened, obviously. Came out, went around the island and collected all of the weapons, and then got all the women grouped up and told them that he's the leader now and they have to do whatever he says and whatever he
That's
wants.
probably all that guy does all the time.
So then he pretty much started sexually abusing them, all of them, obviously, and pretty much put these women, these 5, I'm pretty sure it was 5 women, through complete and total living hell. And one of them, like I said, I think was 16 or 17. And there was one day where he would trade on and off, come and have a different one stay with him for a week and fucking dude just rape them and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they had no choice but to obey or else they would literally get killed, you know? And he one day after he ran through all of them, sorry, ran through is probably offensive as fuck to say.
Jesus.
And I'm so
Jesus.
Yo, I'm
Christ,
sorry.
bruh.
Horrible language on that. I'm so sorry. Once he
Was done
had
with them.
his time with all of the women, he brought the 16-year-old. And that's when these women were like, okay, we've had enough. So
No,
they made a plan.
They rebelled.
They made a plan to kill him. And pretty much what happened was they made a plan to go into his fucking cabin little thing, right? His little thing, shelter. And one of them was gonna distract him a little bit while the other grabbed a weapon and killed him. Right?
Yeah.
And the plan kind of worked. I think something went wrong, but pretty much the way it ended is one of the women pretty much ended up beating his face to the point of that was not a person.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, understandably so.
Yeah,
Guy
yeah.
deserved it,
I mean,
obviously. And then right after, a boat shows up to save them.
Seriously.
And they come and they investigate everything that happened, and they brought the women back with them, and fucking, yeah, they all got fucking booted up and rewarded and shit and taken care of.
Hey, man, at least there's some these aren't true stories. These are just fables.
They
and
were
maybe,
from
shit
Mexico,
I've heard.
I think.
That's cool. I mean, that's a crazy fucking story too.
I don't know.
But I've also heard these aren't confirmed true stories or anything of people that get stuck on abandoned ships or get stuck out in the middle of the ocean, and their country isn't the people that finds them, so the second they find them they just kill them immediately.
You ever seen Life of Pi?
Yeah, Life of Pi is a great movie, bro.
Back when good CGI meant something.
Exactly.
Holy
bro.
fuck.
That tiger? Or is it a lion? It's a tiger.
It's a tiger.
It's a tiger.
Imagine being on a goddamn boat in the middle of the ocean with a goddamn motherfucking tiger.
That movie was crazy, dude. I still remember it to this day, and I watched it in 8th grade.
I had to watch it in school, and I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, we watched it in school. We either in 7th or 8th grade. I can't remember.
I remember watching it and being like, damn,
That's a crazy movie.
it's really good.
It's fucking amazing. And it's it's recognized for that too. It's an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, a lot of work. Hard movie to make.
But
Movie to make
that is a
interesting,
crazy
too.
story, bro. That's so hard to even imagine. Just being on an island by yourself, and then there's another guy there, and he just decides you guys are mine now. That's fucked. But I mean, I guarantee you,
Dark and twisted. There's some fucked up individuals out there.
How long do you think that lighthouse guy stood there and did? How many people do you think he could have done that to?
What do you mean?
What island was this? This wasn't
This was a very small and remote island,
Exactly.
literally in the middle of the ocean.
So
That multiple countries had their hands at kind of going out and trying to
exactly
get some shit going.
Imagine they years before this story even happened, they just sent a voyage of fucking random people out there the same way they did this one, and the exact same thing happens except he just kills all of them.
Yeah.
How long do you think that guy could have been doing that for? Bro, people are crazy. You hear about weird ass people all the time, dude. You know what
Yeah.
isn't as popular anymore though? Like it's popular in media, obviously, but not like at like real life happenings in current shit is like
Cocaine parties.
no, those happens all the time. But serial killers. Because they get
Yeah.
caught so much quicker nowadays than they would back in the 70s and shit when they were really popping off.
And
And it-
that was like back when it kind of first, the coin serial killers, I think, was literally
Well,
coined in the term serial killers was coined in like the 70s.
I think officially Jack the Ripper's like the first termed serial
He
killer.
wasn't called a
He
serial
wasn't
killer.
called that till recently, obviously. Yeah.
They didn't start
Who was-
calling, they called them sequence killers for a long time.
Yeah.
And then it became serial killers.
Who
Shout out Mindhunter.
I've read about this. There was one man who was called like the first serial killer when they switched the term to serial killer. And I watched a documentary about him, but I can't remember who it was. It was an iconic serial killer.
Wasn't it that dude with like the murder house?
I think so. What's his name?
I could be wrong.
I think you're
forget
right.
his name, but it was the dude who had like a crazy house
Yeah,
with like
yeah, yeah.
traps on some saw
They
shit,
made
bruh.
they made a video game out of that. It's one of the best goddamn video games ever.
Everybody was like, dude, I would never want to be alive any time before the 1960s, dude.
Oh, no, dude.
Fuck that shit. I am out, bro.
What was his
Even
name?
like the
Howard
40s and the
Hughes?
50s sound mid as fuck.
What? It's not Howard Hughes, no.
No, Howard Hughes
That's
is
like,
like
yeah, that's like an iconic famous person and like a
he's something.
scientist, right?
Howard Hughes is somebody out
Inventor
there.
or something.
Maybe. Howard Hughes did something cool.
Either way.
Who is Howard Hughes?
Howard Robert Hughes Jr. was an American aerospace engineer.
Aerospace engineer. Okay.
Film
So, like-
producer, investor, philanthropist.
He was like everything. Good for him.
He was just a guy who had like a lot attached to his name.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get
Good
some,
shit.
it's not hard to get a lot. I feel if you're smart.
Depends. Yeah, you have
Play
to be
cards
smart
the right
about
way.
it, obviously.
Back then, dude, most people aren't doing shit. If you're like somebody who's like really ahead of the game, dude, holy fuck, you're decimating, bro. Think like people like turn off your goddamn ringer if you're gonna fucking
I'm sorry.
unreal.
I didn't realize.
You think people want to hear your little? What if somebody's listening on Android?
It was a
right now?
hotel. H.H. Holmes, the
Okay.
first serial killer. I think you're right about that. I think he was coined like the first serial killer. He killed like 90 something people, dude.
But he was on it. I don't know
Probably
if he
more.
officially killed 90 people. That's speculation.
That's speculation because it was so long ago. But he for sure made this crazy ass hotel that trapped people
Yeah.
in. Like that was a for sure thing.
Could you imagine? Like, how do you go from like
Have you-
being like a regular like 3-year-old to
They,
I'm the murder hotel guy now.
there's a-
That's my shit.
there's a video
What has
game.
to happen to you, bro,
There's a video game
for you to go murder hotel?
Yeah. There's a video game that like goes into the history of
Yeah,
H.H.
you were
Holmes.
telling me about
It's
it.
like one of those Telltale ones, like Until Dawn. But in
Yeah.
my opinion, like the hotel one, I can never remember what it's called, but it's so good because it gives you a history of H.H. Holmes, but like the guy you're in the hotel with it currently isn't H.H. Holmes, obviously, because you're in like 20 something.
Yeah.
He's like a ripoff and he just dresses up as H.H. Holmes. But like through the hotel, you just learn a whole bunch about H.H. Holmes and what he actually did, who he actually killed, speculatively. But you know, you just learn shit about that. Like that's a very interesting video game when they can actually teach you about shit that's actually real. You know, video
Yeah.
games have a hard time doing that. Like there's comic
It's hard
book
to work
video
it
games.
into that, you know.
Uh-huh. Like, cause obviously there's like comic book video games and like the God of War games are loosely based
It's
off
hard to make
Norse
an
and Greek.
entertaining video game
Exactly.
that also has educational factors.
And in my opinion, that's a pretty entertaining video game.
Yeah.
The H.H. Holmes one. So
This is really off topic, but it's crazy to me. Like, I don't think anybody ever talks about this, and it kind of bothers me. You know how like we call like the 1800s and the 1900s, and like the 2500s, people are just gonna call this like probably the
2000s, right?
the
Or the
either
20s.
the 20s probably.
Yeah, the 20s. That's weird. That feels weird. Why don't we
Because
call it,
we call it 2024, but I wonder if
Well, but-
down the line they're gonna call it 2024.
but yeah, that's the thing. But a lot of people also call it 2024.
Back in the year 1000, do you think they called it like
Year
1007?
1000 or yeah.
1007?
No, I doubt it.
1008?
I doubt it. It was probably
11? Because think like 1102.
Yeah, it was
Because
probably
what else would it be?
it was probably just like the regular 1000, whatever the fuck.
But like we look back and call that like when you think of like 1304.
Mhm.
That's 1304.
That's
People don't really say
1304.
1304.
Yeah, exactly. People don't say that. But that's the thing. People nowadays will say 2024,
Yeah.
2010, 2000.
But I feel
whatever.
like more people say 2010,
But
2012.
I think once it gets to like 2100, like once it gets to 2100,
Ooh.
people are going to start calling it like 2130, 21. Once it,
2102.
once it like
that just sounds like a
Exactly,
fucking passcode, bro. Imagine living in a passcode year. Y'all are cooked. If you're watching this in the year 2104,
You're
you live in the
cooked.
fucking stupidest year ever, dude. 210 whatever the fuck. 2113. What? What? 2113.
Hey,
It's either that or it's 2113. Nobody's
either
gonna
way,
be
that's
saying that
stupid.
shit. People are gonna be so lazy by then. It's gonna look like Wally.
it'll be
Wall-E
it'll be
is-
a completely different thing by then,
Dude, in the next like 300 years, dude, I bet Wally will be like looked back on as like, oh, fuck, dude. They called it. Those fuckers back then were smart as fuck. They knew how we'd end up.
There's a lot of great movies with like futuristic ass robot shits.
Wally is the best Disney movie of all time, in my opinion.
Pixar always bangs, dude. They have some of the greatest animation movies of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, is Disney? Yeah, Disney.
It's
Pixar.
Disney Pixar, yeah, but it's just like a separate.
I
thing.
forget that Disney is just the fucking like brand attachment for all these huge brands.
Yep. That's the sad thing about it, because like think about it too, because like Cars is Disney Pixar. There's a lot of Pixar movies, man. It's crazy.
Walt
They
Walt
haven't been
Disney
hitting-
really started off
You know what I did here?
one
actually?
of the craziest run in entertainment history.
Oh, for sure. And Disney like still is always on top, bro. You know the highest grossing films of last year, what they were?
probably all
Number
Disney.
1, Inside Out. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. Both Disney movies. And I'm pretty sure there's more Disney movies throughout.
That should be illegal.
That's what
Monopoly
I'm saying.
is literally like
They own all the
illegal.
companies that make movies. How does anyone else
all the
make any
companies
money?
that make the big
best
money
movies.
making movies, not the best.
the
Movies.
big money movies.
Deadpool Wolverine was all right.
It was all right. I don't think it deserved
Am
$1
I gonna
billion.
fucking watch it again in 20 years? No.
I don't think like it was a
I'll watch the original Deadpool again in 20 years.
yeah. The original Deadpool is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time.
because it went against the grain, but then
Exactly.
it's just like they're just overplaying it now, and it's like, oh look, we got
all this money now.
we got Wolverine. Oh guys, we're owned by Disney, but
Well,
we're still edgy.
But see, that's
The
that's
gimmicks, the gimmick's up.
the thing that slapped about the Deadpool movie.
if you're listening to this, the gimmick is up. You are like one of the
You know
most
what he did-
powerful people in Hollywood.
hey.
Make good movies,
Shh.
please.
You know what he did say in an interview like recently? Like he said he's not done with Deadpool, but he's done making like solo Deadpool films. Like he feels like Deadpool is more of like a side character.
It's a
And I was like, I actually kind of agree with that. Like Deadpool could show up in a Wolverine movie
I
for
think
sure.
what Ryan Reynolds should do is he can keep doing the movies he wants. But I think with his production studio, I think he needs to start coming out with some banger scripts, because a lot of these big Hollywood fucking studios are only taking scripts if they're like fucking attached to franchises or already existing IPs,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think somebody out there, whether it be Dwayne The Rock Johnson, probably not him. I don't trust The Rock.
Kevin Hart, he has a production company
Yeah,
too.
I think what one of those fucking rich ass powerful motherfuckers should do is start taking chances
Dude, you know,
in the film industry again, because A24 has been doing it for some years now.
that's the thing I
They're like the
respect
most
about-
liked studio right now. Let's be honest. Like, there's more popular studios out there. There's studios that make more money. But what studios get more compliments than A24? when you see A24 logo before a movie, you're like, okay, this is going to be something
good.
unique.
It's gonna be different.
This isn't going to be like the same old
Yeah.
shit.
You know, like
And I like that.
I brought up Kevin Hart a sec ago, and we'll probably end it here in a sec. We've been talking for a minute, but one of the things I've been respecting about Kevin Hart recently, at least, is have you seen like he's been making some more serious movies, at least on Netflix and shit. Have you? I've never seen it, but I wonder if you have the movie with him and Bryan Cranston.
No. Oh, no.
It's based off a true story. But
It's
Bryan
based
Cranston,
off the one where Bryan Cranston's handicapped.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
based off of an already existing movie. French
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, not a true story. Already existing.
The French
movie.
one. The French one. Well, the French one's based off of a true story as well.
But okay, so
But
it is
the
based
French
off a true
one's
story.
like fucking. The reason I haven't watched that one is I hear the French one is like fucking like actually like one of the best fucking.
movies ever made.
Yeah,
I've
dude, like,
I
it's truly
didn't even know
beautiful.
that about it. But like what I didn't even
And
want
the
to bring
Bryan
up the
Cranston
point
Kevin Hart one is kind of comedy.
that's
Isn't it?
it's a little bit comedy, but it's like
It's
that's
a
the
lot
thing.
more serious.
That's the
though.
thing I was about to say is like
not
Kevin.
right along.
The thing I appreciate about Kevin is that he'll take a role that's more serious to see what his range is.
Exactly.
You know, like
he tries.
He can get like I've watched clips of that movie, and there are some very heartwarming and very sad moments that Kev has to act very serious in, and he does a very good job doing it. And then there's another movie he made called Fatherhood, where he has to be a single dad, and he has to go like into this group of moms and try and learn how to be a single dad while all these other people are single moms instead of being a single dad.
Yeah.
And it's like a really heartwarming story because like you don't look at Kevin Hart, you don't see a Kevin Hart movie and you're like, oh, this is going to be a really serious, emotional movie.
Yeah.
You look at it and it's going to be, this is funny. This is going to be
Because
funny.
Kevin Hart, like, I feel like if you could do, like, this might be controversial within the movie world, right? But I feel like if you can genuinely do, like, really good, on point, good timed comedy acting and stand up comedy and all that, I think it would be a lot easier to attack something like serious roles. You
That's what I think,
I
too.
think it'd be kind of like hard
Look
to
at-
do that transition process of like going from straight comedy all the time to kind of a little bit serious. But I think once you get there,
Look at Robin Williams.
exactly.
Yeah, like, bro,
literally the perfect example. Yeah,
Yeah,
literally the
like,
perfect example.
One of the most unserious people on this comedy stage. And there's
Exactly.
a few movies where he's really goofy and obviously.
Good
but-
Will Hunting, Good Will
but
Hunting,
Goodwill Hunting. There's quite a few movies where he's very serious.
Good Will Hunting alone is like has so many fucking quotes from it that are like, holy
Mm-hmm.
fuck. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Matt Damon write that movie?
I don't think so. I think Robin Williams.
Matt Damon's a really
Oh yeah, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are great writers. They've written a lot of movies. I don't think they've written that one. Either of them wrote that one though.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote the American film Good Will Hunting.
No
That's what I'm saying.
shot.
That's why.
Ben's not even in that movie, is he?
No, he just wrote it with him.
Nice, good for him.
They've always been boys. Shut up.
Dude. And they've been making iconic movies since the beginning,
Forever,
bro.
yeah, no,
like
dude.
literally since they came up.
Exactly, dude.
Like good for them, for real.
yeah, that's why I don't mind when they have flops once in a while.
Like yeah, everybody has a flaw.
I like Matt Damon a lot more than Ben Affleck.
Me too.
But
I love
I've
Jason
seen Ben
Bourne,
Affleck
bro.
in a,
Jason
Dude.
Bourne's one of my favorite fucking movies.
The
ever, dude.
Accountant is one of my favorite.
Accountant's
Say
great.
that movie's kind of controversial because like everybody, dude, he's literally just like monotone the whole time. That's the fucking
That's the point. He's autistic. God, dude.
The point. I really want to watch Argo because Bryan Cranston and Ben Affleck are in that.
I haven't watched that either. I
It's
should watch it.
about like the it's like some lawyer like government
yeah,
shit.
Yeah. Don't they like pose as like fucking movie people or
Yeah,
some
they pose
shit?
as a movie studio
yeah.
to like in like the CIA.
the CIA
biographies.
shit. Yeah, I've seen trailers and shit for it. It seems like a very interesting movie, and it's based that one's based off
on
a true story. I know that. Like,
Based.
loosely based. So that's why they have to put that's why they have to put based on a true story, because it's loosely based on the true story every single time. They have to make it more exciting, you know.
Yeah, they have to
obviously.
like add like fucking people like just getting fucking killed,
Killed
like,
or, yeah,
fucking
no.
like ran over and fucking like fucking like actually fucked by a monster truck. Like,
Oh yeah.
like the monster truck like finds a way to like have sexual intercourse with you.
Indeed.
Perfect note to end off on.
Facts.
If you guys enjoyed this episode of the FRiED Files, make sure to tune in every single Friday at 4:20 p.m. New episodes every Friday. Guests will be back soon, and so will the clips.
Eventually.
If you want to tune into Clint's gaming channel, take it away.
It's Mr. Tuesday on YouTube. I've actually already hit over 60 subscribers, so I'm trying to hit over 100 by March. If you guys can help me out with that, I would greatly appreciate that. I feel like the gaming channel is doing pretty good.
Hit that subscribe button, everybody.
Everybody hit like, subscribe, comment something. I don't care what. Just comment something.
Even if it's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Comment booty cheeks. I don't care.
Comment booty cheeks, but spell it with like way too many K's.
Facts.
Thank you everybody for watching. We appreciate your support, and we will see you on the next one.
Deuces.
Peace.